Here I am, in the ruins of the Playtime co-factory. Except I'm not. I'm in my room. And this guy isn't even a real lemon. But he is the focus of this video. So, there was a little game that got a new chapter recently called Poppy Playtime. You might have heard of it. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's, but with clearer lore. Now, being the mascot horror nerd that I am, I streamed the whole chapter as soon as it came out on my Twitch channel, where I also stream a lot of my build processes and projects which I don't usually end up making YouTube videos on. So consider following me there as well if you want to hang out and learn more about a variety of crafts live. I've been a fan of the Poppy Playtime series for a while, and when this new chapter came out after I streamed it, I watched a number of creators also playing it, including Astral Spiff, Game Theory, and Dorko. However, it was while watching a stream by an amazing speedrunner called Barney Goose, who's also one of the beta testers and partners in crime for Mob Entertainment, that I found out about the latest addition to a running joke in this series. This is Limon, a random lemon with voice lines that appears hidden in every chapter. However, this time he was slightly different. He had a face. And psychology dictates, us as humans are 1,000 times more likely to grow attached to something if it has a face. So immediately I knew I had to make him. Thankfully, by the time I decided this, one of Mob Entertainment's concept artists, Amber, or Amber Loves Bugs on most of their social media, had already released concept art that they had done for Limon. And who also told me that he is a Ponderosa lemon. Now, unfortunately, I live in England, and we don't have that sort of lemon, but I have the next best thing, a 3D printer and some yellow filament. So one stream, I decided to get to it. I opened up Blender and started to model. I took the concept art that Amber had made, and imported that into Blender as a reference. I then imported a sphere, and using the images and the proportional editing settings, I manipulated the sphere and subdivided it to get a rough lemony shape. I did this for both the front and the side view, and then went over and refined any weird areas so that it didn't look too distorted and looked more round. Then I ended up making a quick eye by squashing half the sphere and extruding a pole so that I could cut a hole into the model later, just to make it easier for when I'm painting. When it came to the mouth, the one in game is drawn on with a Sharpie, but I wanted to actually model this one in. So I went into sculpt mode, and I masked off the area where the mouth would be, and removed material with the blob and the smoothing tools to get a rough shape. I then cleaned up the corners of the mouth and the edges with the draw and the crease tools before smoothing it over to get a more even look. After that, I scaled it to size using a scan of my hand that I already had, and the reference that was in the top corner of the concept art. This is where I had a bit of a moment of wonder when I realised just how big Limon is. He doesn't really look that big in game because you're holding him with a grab pack hand, but looking at this reference, it made me quite surprised. Then I went and sent the parts to my printers. The body was printed on my Ender 3 Max Neo, and the eyes were resin printed on my Elegoo Saturn 3. This model is very basic in comparison to the finished model that I have planned. It's more of a proof of concept, if anything. What I really want to do is reprint it in some flexible TPU instead, and have some electronics inside that mean that when he's shaken, or when he's dropped, he'll play some of the voice lines that he does in game. But that will have to wait until I've got a bit more spare money on hand. Once they were done, they got a brief clean up with the sander, and it was on to painting. The painting was quite a quick job. I just did it at the start of one of my streams with my airbrush, and as you can see, I've covered the eye in masking tape so that I can use my scalpel to cut the exact area I want the white pupil to be, and I'm then painting in light layers over it with my airbrush to build up a good coat on that black underlayer. After that, I moved on to masking off the mouth. I should have put a plastic bag over the rest of the body as there were some specks of black paint afterwards, but this isn't the final model, so I'm not too bothered. Once I had painted both parts, I removed the masking tape and attempted to clean some of the overspill off of the mouth with some airbrush cleaner and a cotton swab. After that, I took out my hot glue gun that had been warming up during the stream and used it to glue the eyes into their sockets. The rest of that stream, I was working on another Poppy Playtime project, a grab pack with fingers that move when I pull the triggers. I'm still working on that, so I might do more modelling on it on the stream in the future, alongside a variety of other projects I have ongoing, like a Freddy Fazbear head, Bucky from Shipwreck 64 as a mascot costume, and my Yarnaby quadsuit cosplay. And finally, we have the finished piece, Limon the Lemon, arguably the most important Poppy Playtime character in the series. I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and I look forward to hopefully recording more content for YouTube this year.